Hello, hello, everybody. Good morning. Steve Stockton here with you, inviting you in for a cup of coffee. I'm a New Englander now, so Dunk's is my coffee of choice. How's everybody doing this morning? Say hi to the chat here in a minute. Let's see who we got here. Midnight Society, my lovely wife, Nicole. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. I love you. She's actually sitting over here, stage right in the wings. Sasha Bell, thank you for being here. Glenn Dannison, how are you doing today, sir? Unanswered questions by Sheila. Hey, how you doing? Sounds like an interesting channel. Strange Decoy 90. Well, interesting name too. Is that like a duck decoy or another kind of decoy? Get my mic a little closer here. Let me know if you can hear me okay, or is that too loud? Not loud enough. D-Rock, how you doing? Good to see you. Acid Kick 96. Who Made Who? Good song by AC/DC. Jamie Abernathy, good morning. Moonchild, hey, how you doing? Now, no, I'm thinking of somebody else. There was somebody in here from Kentucky that had Moonbow in their name. If you've ever been up to Cumberland Falls in Kentucky, they have the Moonbow. There's only two places in the world where you can see that. I think the other one's in, I want to say, South Africa. Now, I've never seen the Moonbow, but I've been up there many times looking for it when I lived in East Tennessee. But when the conditions are just right, the moon causes a rainbow in the dark, literally, there over Cumberland Falls, Kentucky. I've seen pictures of it, but I've never been lucky enough to see it. Holly Hunt, your coffee's at Duncan. That's where mine's from. Lorraine Yanez. Yeah, today's the emergency alert. Don't forget about that. Every device you own that's connected is supposed to go off at 2:20 p.m. here on the East Coast, and that's even if it's on silent, it should make a racket, and that's a test of the emergency alert system. I remember when I was a kid, and those would come on the TV. Those would always scare the devil out of me. I'd think, something's happening, and then I grew up in and around Oak Ridge, Tennessee. My dad worked out the National Laboratory there, and Oak Ridge had like a distant early warning signal, like if we were under attack. They had an alert that they would sound. They would do that on the first Wednesday of every month. So if you forgot it was Wednesday and you're sitting there, you hear this citywide thing like klaxon type horns, sirens going off, and you're thinking, are we under attack? Like, oh yeah, it's Wednesday. And I always said if an enemy were going to attack, noon Wednesday would be the time to do it because everybody'd think it was a false alarm or a test of the system. Who else we got here? Josie Spink, good to see you. Ona Holly. New England is very beautiful this time of year. I grew up in the South. Now the Smokies, they look great with the fall leaves, but I'm telling you what, New England is something else. And they're just starting to turn here. I was out yesterday, and some of the trees are starting to really get some color. Not all of them yet, but another week or so, we're having a nice cold snap this weekend. It was 80 degrees here yesterday. We're in Indian summer, they call it. Tales of the Sonic Voyage. Downtown Terry Brown. How you doing, sir? He is pumping out some classic rock over there on his channel. Terry, or one of the mods, go ahead and drop a link to Tales of the Sonic Voyage. He's having fun over there. Robin Bash. I hope I said that right. Afternoon here. You must be in the UK or somewhere other than the United States, because I'm on the East Coast. It's 9:36 a.m. currently here. So be like 2:30 in the afternoon in the UK if I've got my, I can do math in my head, which may or may not be able to do. Reese W. Denmark, you and your wife are watching with your rabbits and coffee. Well, hello to your wife and your rabbits, and I hope you're enjoying your coffee there, Reese. Can you get Dunkin' Donuts in Denmark? I don't know if they're an international brand or not, but they're all over the place here in New England. There's one on every corner, it seems like. I can go out the street a little ways and throw a rock and probably hit the nearest one. But that's okay. I love it. Morgantown, West Virginia. Glad to have you here with us, Lee Gifford. Hello to Robin Bosch, then. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The only Duncan's is in Copenhagen. Hey, Jose, how you doing? Good morning from Texas. Audacity, good to see you. 44 of you in here watching now. And this is just a little stream I'm doing on Wednesdays now just to have coffee with everybody and hang out, talk about what's going on, what I've been up to, talk about what you've been up to. Good to see everybody. Now, coming up, have another wonderful script from Nicole, 13 places where people disappear. And it's great. I've got the audio recorded. I'll be putting the video together later today, and it should be ready. Should premiere it tomorrow. But I think you're really going to enjoy it. And then Friday, we're going to have another episode of our current missing person cases live. If you were here last Friday, you saw what I'm talking about. A lot of people like that format. I just talk about current or even breaking cases and put the picture up. And like this guy, Silver Alert issued for missing Warren man last seen in Monson. I haven't heard if he's been found. It was a Silver Alert. He has I think a slight dementia, some cognitive issues there, and he either went hiking, went for a drive or something. He liked to hike the trails, and still haven't found him. Gary Lyons is the man's name. If you were to see him, contact your local authorities. Now, he's here in New England. I believe he's in Massachusetts. That's where the Munson, I think is how that's pronounced. I'm still learning the lingua franca here. Some of these words are interesting to wrap my hillbilly tongue around, but I love it. But if you're in this part of New England and you've seen somebody that looks like this, contact your local authorities. Let's bring him home. He's got a family that loves him and wants to know where he's at. But anyway, that's what I'm doing on Friday. So just we're going to have probably about 20 or 25 cases that I'll cover. And if we have any updates on either ones that we covered last week, I'll have those up as well. We had, let's see, who did we have? In In addition to Gary Lyons, we had Mary Reed, Walisha Franklin, Charlotte Lester, Thaddeus Sear, Charles Robert Steele, Dennis Penner, Patricia A. Hickett, Hamid Say, Norma Yates, Brandon Lee Carter, Anthony Cuffey, Travis Rollins, Roy Lawrence Elshire, and Verbena Burgess. If you'd like some more information on those people, excuse me, let me clear my throat here. Go back and watch last Friday's live stream and have a little more information on some of these. The cases are so fresh and so new that there's very, very limited information and maybe not a lot of photographs and things available. But I like doing it that way. It's timely to get the word out there why the people are currently missing and breaking cases there. So that'll be on Fridays. Let's see. See me scroll back through the chat here. Yeah, Terry's doing the 31 days of Sonic horror over there. He's got some good stuff. I saw he had Alice Cooper's "Welcome to My Nightmare" long form movie concert video up over there the other day. Good stuff. Sasha Bell's in South Texas. Gene Brown, how you doing? Lula Bell, good to see you here. Yeah, Holly Hunt, that was, Cena was her last name. I can't remember her first name. She was found safe, and they arrested the suspect, the guy that had abducted her, and he had left a ransom note, and they lifted a thumbprint or a fingerprint off the ransom note and dug back in their files and found where he'd done something like in '99, and they had his fingerprints, went right to his house and arrested him. MT Jen, good to see you. Miss Shroom, how you doing today? James Sharp. Oh, Susan Woodcarver, haven't seen you around in a while. Nice to see you. Yeah, I think, hey, there's Lee, First Floor Audio, Lee G. Does a lot of the music for my videos. And then I join him over there some nights. He's on Thursdays, his Radio 1FA, where he plays his own hits back to back. Saturday night, he does some of the most amazing covers you'll ever hear. And they're all rebuilt from scratch. It's not a karaoke track. He brings them back up and rebuilds them in his key, and he puts an original spin on them. So if you love classic music, 80s music, all kinds of good stuff, go check out Lee G on Saturday nights. And then last night, Tuesday nights, he does Night Rider, W-R-I-T-E-R, and creates a track from start to finish right before your eyes. I didn't get to join him last night. I was recording for my radio show. But you want to check that out this weekend on Ground Zero Radio Network over, excuse me. Voice is a little rough this morning. I beg your forgiveness for that. But yeah, I'm on Clyde Lewis Ground Zero Radio Network. Have a show over there. I thought it started last Sunday. It actually starts this Sunday. And my first guest is our own Catheta Cat Gray. And we're talking about spooky stuff in the southern Appalachians. And the next guest, whom I recorded with last night, none other than Cisco Murdoch, Journey Through the Gate Paranormal Portal podcast. I'm over there with her on Monday nights. She came on last night and we talked for 2 hours about the book that we wrote together. We're All Children in the Wilderness of the Afterlife, a guided tour through a haunted life. It took me 2 years to be able to say that correctly. But we talked a lot about the book and just her personal experiences. We talked also about Bigfoot, Dogman, Gettysburg, hauntings, the paranormal. It was just a real grab bag of paranormal and strange stuff. And that'll be not this Sunday, but Sunday after that for Cisco's episode. Glenn Kavanaugh. Yeah, I got. Now I've been doing stuff over on my other channel, 13 Past Midnight. I'm doing the 31 Nights of Halloween over there. 3 videos up so far. One will be go up tonight. I did my first ghost. The one from last night was, excuse me, Dreaming of the Dead, which is about precognitive dreams of those that are about to pass away. I can't remember what I did for the second night over there. But go check it out on my 13 Past Midnight channel. There's some other stuff over there too. And then on Nicole's channel, Insomniac Radio Theater, I've got me reading some fiction in the rain over there. If you liked Night Music by Kevin MacLeod, wonderful tongue drum song, we've got like a 4-hour stream of that. Got several hours of relaxing campfire, several hours of just rain. And Mr. Mulder, he's asleep back here behind me. But he's going to have a show on there, a video on there soon. It's music for animal relaxation. Just a little fun thing that we're putting together. Go check that out. Insomniac Radio Theater. And let's see what else we got going on. I extended the fall sale on my books. If you want to head over to my Etsy shop, Strange Things in the Woods. National Park Mysteries and Disappearances, Volume 1, The Great Smoky Mountains. Lots of not only disappearances in there, but ghost stories, legends, lore. Smokies is one of my favorite places in the world. A lot of good stories in there. And then my autobiographical, My Strange World, which has just some of my own personal paranormal experiences in there. You can get them 25% off, signed copy, sent directly from me. And I'll even put you some stickers in there. I've got all kinds of stickers. I think these are horror stickers here, like with Pennywise from It. But I've got all kinds of stuff. Mushrooms and spooky stuff. And some of these are, that's another Pennywise. I don't know. Don't know what you get. I'll grab a handful of them and stick them in there. Sorry, that was almost a sneeze. I got the mic muted. Hey, Grey Wolf, Paranormal, Lindsay, how you doing? But let me drop a link to my Etsy shop here. I've only got a few of those left. I don't know when I'll even have more. But I thought for spooky season, I'd give them for 25% off just to usher in the fall and Halloween month and my birthday month and everything spooky. This is my favorite time of year. But yeah, if you want to head on over to an Etsy store, those are signed copies for less than what you can get a regular copy for on Amazon. And I'll send them directly out. I'll personalize them if you want. Let me know what you'd like me to write in there, who to make it out to. I've made them out to people's dogs, people's spouses or better halves. Yeah, Lindsay bought books from me. She was amazed at the stickers. Terry Brown, he's bought books from me. He got some nice stickers too. I tried to do a rock music assortment for Terry, but I just happened to have those stickers at that time. But go check it out. Said I'll personalize it any way you want, except an IOU or say I'm including you in my will or anything like that. But other than that, let me know. I'll say hi to your pets in writing. Also, I've got a blog coming up. I decided to do a blog for the stuff that doesn't really fit anywhere else that I'm doing. I love to write. I love to create, and the blog it's going to be called Around the Campfire. I'm going to practice being a storyteller and a raconteur, but in the written word. Now we'll do some audio attachments. The platform that I'm using to blog lets me do audio and video if I want to, but mainly just it's going to be written word. Steve Stockton's Around the Campfire. I'll be posting a link to that soon in the community tab here on the channel. So a lot of good stuff going on here at the House of Stockton. Good content coming your way. Lots of exciting things. The new radio show. Yeah, Robin, I am. I don't know that I call it hustling or grinding or whatever the young people say, but it's just I'm compelled to create, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. I love it here in New England. I'm loving married life, and I'm more inspired than I've ever been. So lots of stuff. Nicole and I are working on a book about odd New England, so you can expect that relatively soon. I think. I don't want to give a date yet, but anybody that I haven't said hi to here. It wasn't anything personal. I just missed you. The chat scrolls by sometimes faster than I can see it. Oh, Moonchild, they're really enjoying the 31 days of Halloween on 13 past midnight. Yeah, Glenn, I was on that the most recent Belief Hole episode telling one of my Ouija stories. And mine wasn't that scary or creepy necessarily, but it serves as a cautionary tale, I think. But love those guys. They're going to be on my radio show. And also, I'm going to have at some point during October, I'm still trying to organize everything, going to have a round robin storytelling stream on 13 past midnight. We're going to tell true spooky stories. Um, all three of the brothers from Belief Hole are going to be there. Chris, Jeremy, and John. Cisco's going to be there. Sir Brian Bowden. Um, I can't think of who else right now, but I got some others lined up. And on my radio show coming up, Midwest Night Watchers, Gerald is going to join me from over there. Um, Tattooed Biker, Unexplained. He has got a great channel. I love what he's doing. If one of you mods would drop a link to Tattooed Biker Unexplained. I think he's in Pennsylvania, but he is doing some amazing videos over there. I really like his style, what he's doing. And he and I are going to be doing some collaborations. He's going to join me on my radio show. Um, Downtown Terry Brown there, Tales of the Sonic Voyage. He's also written some very, very good accounts of true experiences that he's had. You can see the video Jimmy over on 13 Past Midnight and The Smoking Ghost in the Delta 88. Those are both true stories from Terry Brown. And Terry's going to join me on my radio show for an evening of me and him swapping tales. And again, that's Sunday nights from 6 to 8 Pacific time, which is 9 to 11 East Coast time. They're all on Clyde Lewis and his crew are all on the West Coast in Portland, Oregon. So they put everything out there in Pacific time, and I have to try and change it. I lived in the West Coast for years, and then moved one time zone east and couldn't figure out what time it was. Now I'm all the way on the other side of the country again here in New England, and but that's easy, 3 hours difference. Um, I'm not sure what that name. Oh boy. Not I can't even pronounce that, but hello, good to see you. I'll pop the message here on screen. Rarna Skewich? I'm just guessing there. And Susan Picciano. Hope I'm saying that one right. Hello from Southern Ohio. You were here the other day. Let me put this one up here from Robin Bosch, and I'm probably not saying that right. My grandma had such a wild Ouija experience. My dad, mom, grandma, and other family members were playing, and a spirit came through who knew my grandma and told them stuff only my grandma knew. Creepy stuff there. I don't recommend playing with one, but I'm not going to tell you not to either. You do you, but just be careful if you mess around with stuff like that. Realize what you're messing with. Oh, you're welcome, Terry. Terry Brown. Tales of the Sonic Voyage. Go check his channel out, if you, especially if you like Southern, or not Southern, but early rock, classic rock, psychedelic rock. Terry's got you covered over there on his channel. He maybe have a little Southern rock over there too. So, anybody else got anything going on? Lindsay, what are you up to? Did you got anything going on your channel? Anybody else here have a channel that you'd like to drop a link for? I don't think the way it's set up it'll let you drop a link, but if you just say, drop a link to my channel, we'll take care of you. Hey, Nora Harris, good to see you. Oh, Susan's from Chillicothe. Am I saying that right? I've been there, but I don't know how to say it. I've got some more Ohioans in the chat. And I'd mentioned going through Ohio as a child, and I went to a place called Ghost Town in Findlay, Ohio. And I mentioned that when I was on the Belief Hole the first time when they interviewed me. And somebody commented on that video that it is still open. So if you're passing through Findlay, Ohio, check out Ghost Town. It was a cool little place. Truth Seeker, how you doing? Good to see you. A lot of Ohio people in the chat now. But that's good. So they haven't used the board in 30 years. Now, my maternal grandmother, that side of the family, they were all about that kind of stuff. They were part of the spiritualism movement from around the turn of the last century. I've told this story 100 times, so you've probably heard it. But my mom was born in 1927, and when she was a little girl, they had seances often. They did table tappings. They played with a spirit board or Ouija board. My grandma interpreted dreams and read tea leaves and coffee grounds and cards. Now, she wouldn't read tarot cards. She said they had something dark about them that she didn't like. She used regular playing cards, but she drew her own little symbols up in the corner. Very similar to a Lenormand deck, if you've ever seen those. I've never heard of Moonville, Susan, but that sounds interesting. It sounds like something I'd be into. Yeah, that noise in the background there. Mr. Mulder is sacked out and snoring. For our wedding registry on Amazon, somebody picked out a bed for Mulder. It's a really nice orthopedic dog bed. He's in that sound asleep. And he's not here right now, but Scott's, what's the rest of Scott's life and fascinations, I think. He sent us a Cuisinart bread maker as a wedding gift. And that thing is awesome. It's the nicest bread maker I've ever owned by far. I made banana bread with it day before yesterday. And then today, as soon as I'm finished with this stream, I'm putting together some orange cranberry bread. It smells so good when it's baking. Now, Orphan Annie, she's an East Tennessean, but she said she was born in Cleveland, Ohio. I did not know that, Orphan Annie. Orphan Annie, there in your part, she's just outside the Smokies, I think, or was. I guess you're still in the same place there, Annie. Is fall starting to creep in the Smokies yet? Looks like I had a little leak in my cup there at some point. Let me adjust my lid. So you don't have to look at the coffee stain, but I like putting that Dunkin' logo up there just to let everybody know I'm a Dunks aficionado. No, this is not a paid thing or it's an unsolicited recommendation. I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee more than any of the other coffee chains, more than Starbucks, more than Krispy Kreme. Dunkin' has not only the best donuts, but they have the best coffee I've ever had too, from a chain place like that. So, if there's a Dunks in your area, check it out. Yeah, Truth Seekers has best coffee ever. Ian, myself, how you doing? Yeah, you definitely need coffee. Um, that was the only thing about doing the stream this late. I waited and didn't drink coffee until I started having it here with you guys. Um, I was up around, got up around 5 and took Mr. Mulder out and then went back to bed for a little while and got up again just before 7. But I could do it stream that early for us here on the East Coast, but I got beat up a little bit the other day for going at 9 o'clock here. That was 6 o'clock on the West Coast, and they were all like, "Oh, that's too early. You made us get up early." Yesterday, uh, Nicole treated me to my first pumpkin spice donut, or just pumpkin donut from Dunkin', and it was amazing. I want to try their apple cider donut. I'm beginning to think I imagined it because I thought I saw somewhere that they had apple cider donuts. I'm like, oh, I want one of those. But so far, anytime we've ordered on the app or gone through the drive-through, apparently they're either sold out or they don't have it anymore. But that's such a fall thing. But if you've had a Dunkin' Donuts apple cider donut, let me know in the chat so I don't think I imagined the whole thing. Godfather's Pizza. Now I don't know if that's just a local pizza place, but there used to be a chain restaurant called Godfather's Pizza. It was Chicago style deep dish. They had one in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was on Chapman Highway, or I'm sorry, Kingston Pike, near West Town Mall. And I would drive from Oak Ridge, which, good 17, 20 miles, whatever it was, to get a Godfather's Pizza. And the one, the big one, whatever they had, weighed like 5 pounds. I mean, it had all this meat and cheese and stuff on it. But some of the best pizza I've ever had. Now, those in that area anyway went out of business. But I did see a Godfather's in, I think it was in Florida, but it was just in a gas station, like a slice shop. And the logo looked the same, but it sure wasn't the same pizza. Old cider mill in eastern Kansas. Utility work intruded upon Ian Myso's hibernation. That's happened here where they're out here working on the gas lines one morning with a jackhammer. And I walked out, I'm taking Mulder out, I'm rubbing my eyes, and the guy says, "Going to be a little noisy." And indeed it was. But glad they got that problem taken care of. Susan says, Godfather's closed about 10 years ago. Hate to see it go. And Orphan Annie, if you've lived in East Tennessee long enough, you probably remember Mr. Gaddy's Pizza. That was the best buffet style pizza that I've ever had. It was all you can eat. They'd put out like a dozen different kinds of pizza, and they kept them replenished. They also had spaghetti and salad, and you get all that for one price, and garlic bread. And they also had dessert pizza and stuff like that. And they had a kids' room. And I'd go, even as an adult, sit in there and watch cartoons or watch Nickelodeon or whatever. And it was thin, small slices, but you could eat all you wanted. I think my record was 18 slices. And again, these are just little thin slices. It's not a big slice of pizza. But those were the days. But I don't know. Somebody told me they thought there was one of them left in Maryville, Tennessee, or somewhere down in that region. But there used to be one there in Pigeon Forge that was very, very busy because of all the tourist traffic through there. Kaylee, I didn't say hi to you. Still have a Gaddy's in Moorhead, Kentucky. That is just amazing pizza and the pasta and the salads and the desserts and the garlic bread. and I don't remember how much it cost. Seems like it was 10 or 12 bucks, but you got your money's worth, that's for sure. And I think they still exist, but the ones in Knoxville closed down years ago. But oh, Thaddeus Crane, you love Gaddy's too. Mr. Gaddy's Pizza. It was awesome. Another place I used to enjoy going as a child was Shakey's Pizza. Anybody remember Shakey's Pizza? The guys wore like the boater style hats and the vests and the striped shirt, and they played the piano and sang, and it was like this wild party going on. But it was mainly for kids, I think. But they did like barbershop quartet type stuff and told jokes, and they have a guy there that tied balloons. And Shakey's Pizza, that was when I was a kid. That was the place you wanted to go for your birthday. Chuck E. Cheese couldn't hold a candle to Shakey's. I'm sorry, Chucky. And what was the animatronic band that they had there at Chuck E. Cheese? Anybody remember Showtime Pizza? That was before. That was a forerunner to Chuck E. Cheese. They had kind of the same setup. It was an arcade pizza thing, and they had an animatronic band. And then Showtime, is it Showtime or Showbiz? They got bought out by Chuck E. Cheese, and then they changed everything around. I don't know how we got off on pizza. Oh, there's still Mr. Gaddy's in the Halls. Halls Crossroads. You got some East Tennesseans in here. That's no. I went to school at Carnes. Halls was one of our rivals. So, hey, Lally Guzman, how you doing, Mr. Jab 650? See anybody else snuck in here? I think yeah, I said hi to Thaddeus Crane. Said hi to Kayla C. RJ63. Yeah, you were the one who told me that there's a Gaddy still at Halls. On the way up to what else? If you keep going through Halls, you get up like Maynardville or somewhere like that. I've been up through there. Uh, Alfred Annie says, I remember the great buffet. Went to Gaddy's Pizza often during her college years near campus. Cheap but good food that stuck to your gut. There's still a few around. That's good to hear. I hate it when something that's so good that you enjoy like that just disappears off the face of the earth. Yeah, Little Caesars, Domino's. I remember the first Little Caesars I saw was in Michigan, like back in, I want to say sometime in the 60s or 70s. I think that was one of the first ones. We'd gone to visit my mom's brother who worked for General Motors, and they lived, I remember it was either Drayton Plains or Pontiac at the time, and my aunt went to the Little Caesars and got one. I think it had just opened too, but it's good for what it is. They still have a Showtime Pizza, Terry. Wow, that's amazing. I had a friend that worked there, and he'd always hook us up. So when I was in college, my friends and I going, and it was even then it was a place for kids, but they had good pizza, and he would hook us up. Back then, I don't think they had a buffet. I think maybe they did, but it was limited. But you could order your own pizza, of course, and he would make up a couple of specials and bring them out to us. Hope you're doing good, Nora Harris. Lady J. Homestead, hey, how are you doing? How's that homestead coming along? And that you were in the running to be on a TV show, I think. Did that ever come to fruition? I hadn't seen you around in a long time until recently, and I'm not sure what all you're up to. Now, I do like some of the chain pizza places here, but I like some of those mom and pop pizza joints. There's one here, not too far from here, that we go to, just a little hole in the wall, and they have some of the best pizza. Uh, can't be beat. Now I'm hungry for pizza, and it's not even still 2 hours till lunch. But enjoyed talking to y'all this morning over coffee. That's what these coffee streams are for. Nothing too heavy, unless there's something that you really need to be made aware of. But just some light chit chat, talking in the chat. Ms. Winter's Chicken. I don't remember the one that was in downtown Knoxville, but I worked at the one in Oak Ridge briefly when I was in college. Um, they had good chicken. I liked Ms. Winters, and there was another one. Now this is East Tennessee, in the Cedar Bluff area. They had Sisters Chicken and Biscuits. And I had friends that worked there, and that was some really good stuff. Some of the best spicy chicken I've ever had with some sisters. But I remember Ms. Winters. They had chicken and dumplings, and go in and you could buy it by the quart. And I got, like I said, I worked there very briefly when it first opened. Fast food, not my thing, but it was close to where I lived at the time. It was in Oak Ridge. I lived just up the hill behind it in the Garden Apartments there on Vanderbilt Drive, and could walk to work. And but just wasn't my thing. I did a lot of odd jobs and part-time, short stints and stuff when I was in school, but gave me a well-rounded work education. I discovered all the things I didn't want to do for a living. Yes, indeed, I am happily married, and I am glowing with happiness. Fast Hemi, Danny said, Steve, love looks good on you, and I have to agree. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Thank you. Be the Arrow, how are you doing? Good to see you here with us. I see you often over at Lee's streams. Uh, Big Daddy's. I'm not sure where that's at, but that sounds interesting. That sounds like a place that I would like, Nora Harris. That sounds like one of those mom and pop places. Um, there was a place in Yakima, Washington. It was just like a little diner. They didn't have a drive-through or anything. You could walk in order to go, or you could eat in there. It was something peppermint Lane Diner or something like that. They had some of the best burgers and some of the best onion rings I have ever had. This was a couple of years ago. Onion rings were hand cut, hand dipped, and battered, and fried to order. But and they had it done up like a 50s style diner. They had records on the walls and music notes and a pinball machine and a jukebox and good stuff. You find those little gems like that from time to time, just little out of the way places that. Now, Orphan Annie, do they still have Petro chili and chips there in East Tennessee? The first place I ever had those was at the 1982 World's Fair. I mean, I was right there at UT campus, and I took a job at the fair and worked, I think, 1 or 2 nights, and then didn't go back. But I kept my pass, and I would go down to the fair and hang out and eat the food and listen to the music and stuff. But Petros, they had it like just a stand out there at the World's Fair park, and now some of you probably know what they do as a chili pie, or I've heard it called a walk away something. But they take a bag of Fritos, turn it on its side, slit it open, dump in chili, cheese, onions, salsa, hot sauce, whatever you want in there, and then they hand you a spoon and a napkin, and you just walk around and eat it out of the bag. But those are good. Now they had one later on in West Town Mall in Knoxville that you didn't have to eat it out of the bag anymore. They put it like in a little cup, almost like an ice cream sundae cup. But that's good stuff. I still make those myself sometimes. But I loved Petros. That was a great idea to introduce at the fair, and then it became a successful franchise. I have one severe. It's good to hear that Petros is still around. Those are good folks. What about Nixon's Deli? You East Tennesseans ever eat at a Nixon's Deli? I don't know if those are still around or not, but they had good hoagies, as we call them down south. Hoagies, sub sandwiches, grinders, depending on what part of the country you live in. Frito pie, yeah, that's the other thing I've heard them called. JD's RC's. Good to see you here. So, what's the weather like where everybody's at? Here in New England, let me see what we've got currently. Oh, so it's already 72 degrees. I'm ready for the fall weather to come back. High today is going to be 83. The low was 60 this morning, and then it starts cooling off. Um, Friday and Saturday going to be overcast and rainy. That's the weather that Nicole and I love. I always have. I've always loved rainy, gloomy weather. That's when I'm at my most creative. But then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, lows in the 40s, and the high is only going to be like 56 with low of 45. Now that's fall weather to me. Get the message here. Okay. Let's see what else. Yeah, haven't been to Sevierville or Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg in a little over 20 years. I'd like to go back up there sometime and down there now and take Nicole to the Smokies. Yeah, Lee, most of those are American institutions, uh, but occasionally you see some of those that have taken a foothold overseas. You probably got McDonald's and Burger King and all the big ones like that. But these are a lot of them are regional or just local places. But talking about stuff that you enjoy that's gone away, Burger Chef. Remember anybody remember Burger Chef? Used to love those things, especially around Halloween. They always had some cool Halloween giveaways. And just so you know, McDonald's is going to have the Halloween pails starting October 17th. Nicole and I have already made our plans and try to get those every year. And the Monster cereals are back in stores. We had a bowl of Count Chocula the other night. That's our idea of fun is eating Monster cereal and watching either a horror film or reruns of Are You Afraid of the Dark, the old Nickelodeon show. Can't beat it. 80s today in Sevierville. Well, scattered rain in 81 in the middle, upper 70s. New Mexico. Glad I sat this one out. It was a hot summer there last year, and when it wasn't hot, it was monsoon season and pouring the rain, and then it was freezing and below zero. Crystals. I love. I would go on a 6 hour road trip for a sack of crystals with cheese. That was. They're similar to a White Castle. Now here in New England, I haven't been able to find a Crystal or White Castle, so I don't know what the slider of choice is up here, if there even is one. But love crystals. Now their world headquarters is in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it's shaped like a crystal box, decorated like one. Um, Josie Spinks, yeah, we're huge fans of Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's where she gets her moniker Midnight Society from. And I'm Facebook friends with DJ McHale, the guy that directed and produced that series and wrote a lot of the episodes under pen names. I'm going to see if I can get him to come on 13 past midnight sometime and talk about all the behind the scenes stuff that went into making Are You Afraid of the Dark. That was just a phenomenal show, especially for a kids show. That was some of the scariest television ever on TV, I think, along with Night Gallery and what Twilight Zone, maybe Outer Limits. Some of those weren't as frightening to me as Night Gallery. Night Gallery used to scare the pants off of me when I was a kid. One of the local stations had reruns like after the local news in East Tennessee. And that was at 11:30, and I would stay up after my parents had gone to bed and watch Night Gallery and get scared silly. But I love it. I still do. Paper Staff Kid, hello, Tennessee. Ross, how you doing? What part of Tennessee you in there, buddy? Yeah, A&W. There used to be one of those in Sevierville that I like to go to. It was like at a gas station. They had an A&W, a Long John Silver's, and but I love A&W. I was just thinking last night I'd like to have a good root beer float. I haven't had a root beer float in a long time. Yeah, Dairy Queens, you don't see a lot of those anymore. Something I miss is Orange Julius. And when I was in Oregon, um, one of the Dairy Queens up there in the area where I lived near St. Helens, they had an Orange Julius inside the Dairy Queen. You could get an Orange Julius. That was another thing that I used to like to go to. I'd go to the mall, West Town Mall in Knoxville, just to get a Petros and an Orange Julius. And Sasha Bell says, I was honestly scared of Are You Afraid of the Dark as a kid. I think that was Nicole's experience too. And I watched it as an adult, but it scared me too. There was some frightening stuff on there. Good writing, good writing. I'd love to have DJ McHale come on and talk about uh, that show. I'll go ahead and message him since we're friends on Facebook, see if I can get him to come on 13 during October. That would be great. Church Hill, I've heard of that, but I don't think I've been there, Ross. But good to have you in here. Now, I lived in extreme northeastern Tennessee for a little while. I lived in Mountain City. That's right there up in the very tip of northeastern Tennessee. You're close to Boone, North Carolina in one direction and Damascus, Virginia in the other. But beautiful country up in there. That fall looks great. Let's see what else I may have missed. Yeah, we already talked about that we have to make sure to get all of them. Nicole said she usually ends up getting the witch, but we're going to tell them we've already got that one. Can we have a different one? Sasha, Nicole says, "Are you afraid the dark scared her too?" Yet she would beg to watch it every week. It's one of those things you had to watch it. When I was a small child, I was that way with Dark Shadows. That was in when it was originally airing, and that was the time in the evening that my mom would go. We kept chickens when I was a kid. We had a 26-acre mini farm out in the country, and my mom would go to the hen house to feed the chickens and gather eggs and do all that. And it was, I don't know, just a few 100 feet away, uh, maybe 100 yards. But I would stay in the house and watch Dark Shadows, and this is in the daytime. It came on, I want to say like 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon. And by the time my mom got back from gathering eggs, I'd be hiding behind the couch and peeking over, and not wanting Barnabas to get me. Yeah, I had Whataburger when I was there. It was all right. Good to see you Tuesday. But I like Five Guys. Those are some good burgers. And when I lived in Las Vegas, they had In and Out Burger there, and everybody's like, "Oh, you got to go to In and Out Burger. You got to go to." I maybe I didn't order right, but I wasn't real impressed. And had another guy tell me, "Oh, you got to order it with animal style or something like that." And they put a bunch of stuff on it and a bunch of sauce. I tried that. It was a little bit better maybe, but really really sloppy. And those air fried fries, they were, I don't know, hollow or something. Not my idea of French fries. But my favorite in Las Vegas was Fat Burger. Anybody ever lived near Fat Burger? Now those are some good burgers too. I think maybe we should do a lunchtime stream and talk about all the stuff we're gonna eat here. Gurfy, how you doing? Good to see you here. Jess Beness, I hope I'm saying that right. Washington State. Oh well, thank you. Glad you like my voice. So West Town Mall is still there, Orphan Annie. I knew that about East Town Mall that they tore it down. I watched a video on YouTube of somebody going through there after it was shut down and they were starting to tear it down. They auctioned off a lot of that stuff out of there. But as far as I know, West Town Mall is still there. Maybe you can attest to that. Now, is that like an Amazon, like a shipping hub or a? 'Cause there's some places. I think in Portland had well somewhere. Amazon actually has some stores now. I think where you can go buy stuff, but then they have those big shipping centers too. I don't remember a show called My Partner the Ghost, but that sounds like interesting. Sounds like something I would enjoy. The Ghost of Ms. Muir. Anybody remember that one? Now there was a movie and then there was also a TV series. Really showing my age with that one. Hey, Miss Estabrooks or M. Estabrooks. I used to know Wes Estabrooks that had built the World of Illusion in Gatlinburg. Um, Hello from New Brunswick, Canada. Good to have you in the house. Good to see you. So she thinks you were scared of Scooby Doo, huh, there, Gurpy? I admit, if you were kind of small, there was some spooky stuff on Scooby Doo, even if it was a cartoon. Not as frightening as Are You Afraid of the Dark or Night Gallery. Lord help you if you were little and happened across Night Gallery like I did. I mean, it scared me bad, but I wanted. I'd sneak up and watch it. My favorite craft, I like to paint. I've got some canvases in here, some blank canvases that I need to put brush to. I mainly work in acrylics, but I do some collage style work. Now I'm self-taught, uh, outsider style art, art brute, whatever you want to call it. And eventually I'll put some of those canvases up in my Etsy shop. I've sold every painting that I've ever done, probably only 20 or 30 or so. But I love just the outsider art stuff. I don't have any formal training in art. Now, I did take art history extensively in college, but I don't have any art classes in technique or anything like that beyond what I had in elementary school and high school. Let me go ahead and drop a link to that Etsy shop again. Now, in addition to my signed books that you can get over there, um, Nicole's and mine's mutual friends. Actually, it was Nicole's friend first, Samantha. She owns Smooth Sense Co. She makes soy wax candles and wax melts and things. We've got some of her Halloween and fall candles and stuff available over there. Go check those out. She's got some amazing stuff, especially if you're a horror fan and like the spookier side of stuff. Let me pop a couple pictures up here Hope I thought I still had them in here. I don't. I took them out when I was doing the current missing persons cases live. But go check it out on the Etsy shop. She's got one that looks like I think it's a whiskey or no, a maple bourbon scented candle, and it looks like a skeleton sitting in a hot tub. It's got a little skeleton in it. She's got some horror themed candles that look like they have blood splattered on them and stuff, and some cool stuff. And her she makes these caramel popcorn balls, but it's wax that you can melt, in a melter, and it looks so real. Her husband tried to eat part of one of them. Got a mouthful of soy wax. Let's see who else we got here. Lance Crockett. Hey, how you doing? Tell Ninja Steve says hi. Procrastinating, Gerpy. Well, why put off today what you can put off tomorrow, right? Let's see. Yeah, I love the original Scooby-Doo, the one from, I think it came out in like 68 or 69, the very first, maybe even before that. But later on, didn't care as much for Terry remembers the ghost of Ms. Muir. I think that was set in New England. She moved into a lighthouse, and there was, I think it was a lighthouse, and there was a ghost of a sea captain haunting the house. Great, great show. Then the movie, the original movie, was good too. Maya Godez, hope I'm saying that right. Hello from Northern California. Are you up in Humboldt County, around that area, Mount Shasta? I've traveled through there. A couple of years ago, I spoke at a UFO convention in San Francisco, and spent a couple of days in Mount Shasta on the way down. Love that area. Look at that. Moonchild said she'd buy a Steve Stockton painting, or he. I'm not sure if you're he or she. I'm sorry if I misgendered you. But I'll have some available. I've got some bigger canvases and then some smaller ones too. I'll have those up there as soon as I can finish them. Let's see, I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff in the chat here. GoBots and Transformers. That was a little after my time, but I can appreciate both shows. Yeah, Lee G there, First Floor Audio. The original Scooby-Doo was the best, I think. And the Archies, anybody remember the original Archies TV show? Oh, so you're near Mount Shasta, Maya. That's some strange places up there. I love it though. But Mount Shasta's definitely got an aura and a vibe to it. Renta's Ghost. I'll check that out. Somebody in the stream the other day, I was thinking it was one of the Aussies, asked me if I'd ever heard of a show called Round the Twist. And I'd heard of it, and I said, but no, I'd never seen it. And then I remembered after the stream was over, not only have I seen it, I'm a huge fan of Round the Twist. It was about a father and his children, and they lived in a haunted lighthouse. Round the Twist. I think it's here. I think they've got all the episodes here on YouTube. So check that out. Oh, Rent a Ghost. Okay. Tales Told in the Dark. Hey, Cassie, how you doing? Good to see you. Go check out her channel. She does some amazing spooky stories over there. Nicole saying hi to you as well. Good morning. Hope you've got a hot cup with you there, Cassie, and joining us for coffee here. I got a big coffee today. Here we go. Keyboard shut off. I've got a lighted keyboard. I'm not going to pick it up and show. Well, maybe I can. It's got the old typewriter style keys on it, and it lights up. If you're like me and you learn to type on an old Remington or a Royal typewriter, this is USB, but it's got like the thing up there. You can turn the lights on and off. That's pretty nifty. I enjoy writing on this thing. And I've got Nicole a very similar one. I got that one first and ended up getting this one for me, and I gave her that one. She's like, I was hoping you'd give me that one. We are so much alike. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Uh, yeah, I guess it is kind of a gamer thing, but I just like it because it reminds me of the old style manual typewriters, which I started writing on, and I've got the mouse that changes color too. It We like anything that glows in the dark or lights up. Joseph Johnson, hey, good to see you. Welcome in today. A kid's show with a Roman spaceship slash time machine. That sounds interesting. That sounds kind of familiar. There was one I used to enjoy called The Lost Saucer. Anybody remember that one? Far Out Space Nuts. There was some good kids' TV back in the 60s and 70s. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to wrap it up soon and get out of here. I've been rattling on for a little over an hour here, but thanks for being here. I just, like I said, on Wednesdays, I'd like to sit and have coffee with everybody and just chill, chat, see what's going on, answer questions, see what everybody has to say, what you're into, what I'm into. Now, Robin, that might be something I do over on 13 Past Midnight. I've done like a horror movie trivia and stuff over there. We could certainly do that. And I'll give away some stuff, some PDF copies of my books. How's that? Maybe we'll do that one night between now and Halloween. We'll have some kind of trivia night. But once again, visit my Etsy store. If you'd like signed copies of my books, I'll put the link in here. Or if you'd like to check out those candles from Smooth Sense Co. And if you order a book, let me know how you'd like it made out to you. I'll personalize it and put you some spooky stickers in there too. I'm going to wrap it up for today. I've got to edit that video together for 13 places where people disappear. You're going to love it. And that should be up later today or tomorrow. Thursday, I should be over at Lee G's for First Floor Audio. And then Friday, we have the current missing person cases live. Looking forward to doing that again. All right, everybody, have a good day, good morning, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. Thank you for taking time out of your day and spending it with me in my day, so it makes it our day. But it's about time, it's about space. I remember that. Reaching way back there, Terry Brown. That was one with it had the cavemen and the astronaut, I think. But I used to think they used to come on, I want to say Friday nights because I remember watching it after we got back from the grocery store. But anyway, thanks for being here with me for just a morning coffee, chill and chat. I'll do these every Wednesday. Every Friday, I'll be doing the current or breaking missing person cases live, and then videos throughout the week. I'm on with Cisco on Monday nights. I'm on Lee's right now, just kind of catch as catch can, because I'm trying to get ahead on my radio show, get some episodes in the can. They're pre-recorded. But that'll be on Clyde Lewis's Ground Zero radio network. I'll put a link in the community chat or the community post here on this channel. And also join me over on 13 Past Midnight for the 31 Nights of Halloween. I may do some lives over there too. For now, I'm just doing production videos. But spooky season. Again, thank everybody for being here. Midnight Society, Nicole, thank you for modding the chat there for me, sweetheart. I love you. Everybody have a good day, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you a little farther on down the trail. Be sure and tell your animals Steve says hi. Bye, everybody.